on Twitch, and I'm going to test and see if the audio is working, which requires me to keep talking. We have audio. Excellent. All right, Dementia Radio now, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have the Belle Isle Rats in the house.
Hey, rats!
Hey!
Mike, do you know how to play that intro riff? You were wailing on your guitar during the intro.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
We're not going to hear it unless you turn on
I don't want to bother with that whole thing like last time, but yes, I can play it.
Okay. That's cool. Luke, can you be, substantially louder?
I suppose I could. Here, wait, let me...
No, there's a kitty.
Another cat.
Another kitty.
How about this?
That's good. We have an evening full of cats, because Mike has 2 of them. Maybe they'll make an appearance. And
I'm sure they will at some point.
We will have a pre-recorded interview with the Consortium of Genius coming up later in the show. Welcome to episode 797 of the Funny Music Podcast for September 25th, 2025. The title of this week's episode is Disastrous Cling. And your job is to work that into our conversation somehow. And that's the thing. There was something I was going to say and I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. Episode 797. So, 3 weeks, and we're at episode 800. So, I got to start planning that. I usually put together, a best of, montage of some of our funniest bits from the last 100 episodes. And I have been keeping track of things that I think are funny. So, it's just a matter of cutting them out and putting them together. So... all right, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke failed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, primarily working. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just working, trying to get things done, on my to-do list. I went through all of my usual animation industry career websites trying to find jobs to apply to, and I applied to as many as I could find, but there weren't that many. My day job continues to be a thing I have to do, and you know how on News of the Stupid, every once every couple of years, you'll have a story on News of the Stupid where it's blah blah person, from, Ohio, is a mail carrier, and they decided to make their job easier by dumping all their mail in a ditch and then going home and then, or whatever.
Yep.
How that happens every so often.
Yeah.
I don't condone that, but I get it. I get it now. So many of the things I have to go through, packages are one thing, because packages, it's somebody obviously ordered this. Oh, here's somebody sending someone a gift. It's like that. But the letter trays are mainly just, kind of spam,
junk mail. It's all junk mail.
And every so often I'll see, through the little, thing, because, some of them you can just see what's in there, and it's religious junk mail, where it's they've made some cheap little plastic thing that looks like a metal rosary, and it's we're sending you this so that you'll give us money, and it just reminds me of things I used to hear Jello Biafra talk about back in the 90s on spoken word albums about taking advantage of old people through religion and stealing their money. It's just
yeah.
And I'm this is what I'm doing, is ensuring that these things get to these people. It's plus they just in general with the job, they have the ability to tell me that oh, tomorrow you're showing up 2 hours earlier than normal. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's going to be a 6-hour shift or an 8-hour shift. Oh, we don't know. So it's like, I've been trying to plan the recording of my next episode of the Animation and Stuff podcast for recording it Saturday morning before work, and now, today I had to show up 2 hours early, and then they told me, oh, tomorrow you're also showing up 2 hours early. So if they tell me suddenly, oh yeah, Saturday you have to show up 2 hours early, that's going to mess that up. So
yeah.
This job is just thoroughly frustrating to have to deal with. And yet there's not much I can do about it because, not only did I spend 7.5 years applying for animation jobs, I also spent, 6 weeks applying for regular jobs, and this is the only one that would hire me. So, there's not much else I can do about it. I did want to tell you, don't be alarmed, but the FuMP has been hacked.
Oh, God.
Go to thefump.com.
Uh-huh.
And click on the artists page. Are you there?
Yeah.
Who's the first artist listed?
Meow Meme. I know how that happened, too.
Yeah. Alexanne texted me the other day saying, I've hacked the FuMP. I changed the alphabetical number so that I'm listed first on the artist page. And then she said, do you think it'd be okay if it's left that way for a while? I'm like, well, I think generally Devo wants them to be in alphabetical order. And then I started talking with her like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea. We could have at the top of the artist page, like, newest artists. And they could be like the 1 to 4 newest artists there just for the sake of being like, hey, here's who's new.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I could do that.
Because I figured that would be simple enough.
Yeah, that I could do.
But
she wrote her name. Because in the database, we have the artist name, and then we have the artist name alphabetically. So, you can put the at the end, and not everyone is alphabetized under T if you have the in your name. So Meow Meme put as her name alphabetically 111111, and I don't know how many ones there are, but there are a substantial amount of ones in this name. So
just to make sure that she was ahead of Two Sleeps, who begins with a 2.
You're right. Yes, that's why she did that.
It's like, I'm so proud of her for figuring that out. It's like
all right, I'll leave that for a while, but I will have to fix that at some point.
But yeah, maybe we can make a note of that as a potential other thing to add to your list of things to potentially implement at the FuMP.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too hard, actually. I could do that. Yeah. I don't know if anyone would care or use it, but I can do it.
We don't do the FuMP because people care about what we do.
That's true.
So anyway, yeah, I think that's about everything I've been up to in the past week. Although I could briefly mention that Kalani did go in for her 6-month follow-up post-surgery thing, doctor appointment, and they said that she's, as far as they can tell, she's totally clear and there's no cancer. So yay.
Cool. Excellent.
And she needs to go in she needs to go in for some radiation next month, but it's all going to be like preventative, so to speak. So yeah, it's so that's all good. So what is up with you, Devo Spice?
Well, I finished up the FuMP Volume 112 finally. That was a big project. I'll talk about that more during the news. I finished up the narration for my second audiobook. Although I have some edits I need to make, so I'll probably do that tomorrow and get that all finished up. And I've started getting ready for Con on the Cob, which is like next weekend. So I should probably, get ready for that. I want to try performing Lawyer Up. Just solo, so I'll be doing both parts, but that means I need a stage video for it. So I started working on a stage video for it this afternoon. So I'm not sure how complicated I can make that. I need to keep it fairly simple, but I need something. Oh, speaking of Con on the Cob, although this really doesn't have anything to do with Con on the Cob, next week's FuMPCast is probably going to have to be late. Like a half an hour, maybe an hour, because I'm being interviewed at 9:30 on a podcast that goes out live. So, yeah, so we'll just have to do it whenever I'm done with that podcast. So,
What kind of assholes do a live podcast on Thursday night?
I know,
tell
right?
you.
I'm trying to remember the name of the show, and The Real Story. I'm trying to remember what TRS stands for, and I couldn't remember. But yeah, it's called The Real Story. Yesterday I sent the Insider segment to my Patreon backers. The full episode will go out tomorrow. And last Monday was our anniversary. So we spent last weekend at the beach in Connecticut with my parents and no kids, which was nice. And just had a lovely little time.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's nice getting away from the kids. Well, I mean, 2 of the 3 kids are gone at this point, essentially. But, you know, that last one kind of makes up for the other 2. He's a handful. So,
It's good anyway, man.
Yeah. So, Rats, what have you guys been up to?
Tom?
Oh, you always take this.
All right. Well, today's kind of a red letter day for me. Today, I am officially an old guy. Today, I went to the Social Security office in Panorama City and signed up for my Medicare Plan B and Social Security stuff. So I'm officially an old dude now. Yeah. So, yay.
Congratulations. Hey. Nice.
Yeah. But, other than that, nothing terribly earth-shattering since the last time we talked. Daughter's doing great, keeping busy. With pianos and working on Christmas stuff now for the Christmas concert we do every year at our church, and
cool.
with my daughter on stuff. So that's nothing really terribly exceptional. Just general life stuff, really.
I thought you were going to say you were working on like a Belle Isle Rats Christmas album, because that would be kind of epic, I think.
Well, one of these days we really ought to do that. But I don't see that happening in the near future. But that actually is a good idea.
Yeah. How did we not think of that?
Yeah. Why didn't you think of it? You should have thought of that.
I guess I'm stupider than you.
Yeah,
See, my job is to make work for other people because everybody else makes work for me. Yes. Luke at the beginning of the show. Oh, we could just add the new artist at the top of the page. Sure, get on that.
Yeah. My wife, God love her, but she does that for me. She'll volunteer me for stuff. I was like, there's this 15-year-old singer that's really good, and we'll work with you, which means I'll work with her. Like my husband will do tracks and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I really don't care about modern music. I mean, some of it's really good, but that's just not what I'm interested in doing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm still in the 70s and 80s and 60s musical vibe. I mean, I couldn't write. I probably could come up with like a modern track if I wanted to, but it wouldn't be like the real deal. So I'm like, I don't want to do. I don't want to.
So what you do is when your wife volunteers you to work with this 15-year-old singer, you teach her how to tune a piano and take her with you while you're tuning pianos, and then you have an assistant. So.
Yeah, and I think I can count on 0 hands the number of 16-year-old girls that would be interested in that particular endeavor. So. Piano tuning is not as sexy and exciting. You tune pianos? Dude, whoa. What are you doing? That doesn't happen. I love the profession, but I mean, to most people, it just sounds like, as exciting as like removing dirt from shoes or something like that. I don't know. Although I did have one kid one time, this like young kid, I was tuning at this place called Pierce College, and I hear this knock at the door, and it's this like young 16-year-old kid. Hey man, I love what you're doing. Can you talk to me about it? And so for like about half hour, I'm talking to him about tuning pianos. I'm showing him what I'm doing, and he goes, "Okay, thanks, man. Thanks for your time." And that was the end of it. 5 years later, he contacts me with an email, saying, "Hey, remember when you talked to me about piano tuning? I went to piano tuning school. I now have a full-on piano tuning business here in LA, and I want to thank you for being the impetus of that for me." So like,
nice, congrats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that happened one time, but so that was pretty cool.
I'm more struck by the concept of a piano tuning school. They have a whole school for this?
There used to be quite a few of them. Now there's maybe one or two. There's one, the best one is this place called North Bennett Street in Boston. But there used to be one here in LA a long time ago. There used to be a couple, but there's really only one major one. There's this one, there's one that's sort of online called Randy Potter. Randy, who used to be with a Y and now is with an I. But there used to be that. And then, and there used to be one in Florida, but there's maybe two or three in the whole United States.
It just goes to show you always never know. When that kid walked in, you were probably thinking, oh, here comes a disastrous cling. And you ended up changing his life.
Very nice. Very well done.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Although I think it's going to take
Tom,
a really massive effort to beat what Carrie pulled last week, because that was impressive.
What was it? Astonishing Iron?
Astonishing Iron. And she pulled out like a supplement that she bought that was an iron supplement. And she was like, this is some astonishing iron right here.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very well done. Tom, what about you? What's going on with you lately?
Oh, not a huge list. My latest project that I finished was painting my kitchen after painting the cabinets earlier in the summer, and then traveling a little bit, doing some biking back and forth to Chicago. I'll stop before someone hyperventilates.
So you guys posted a song. Give us a quick intro and we will give it a listen.
Okay, this Renaissance Tech Support is a musical theater piece in 4 acts, and it's a little on the long side, clocking in at just under 6 minutes, but it is a very entertaining and, dare I say, enlightening 6 minutes. And if you stick with it, and you have any interest at all in Leonardo da Vinci, one of the premier scientific and artistic minds of the last 1,000 years, I think you will be entertained by it.
Yes, and every Belle Isle Rats project has a number of recurring, like necessary components that are always there. Like there's always a harmonized guitar solo. And we covered this, I think, when we were first interviewed by you guys, that because of my legendary bad voice, I always sing one of the selections. And that's what this one is. And I have to say, I'm genuinely bummed out because I had nowhere to go but up, and I did slightly. So my voice used to be comically, ridiculously, astonishingly awful that it was so obvious that it was just being done tongue-in-cheek that no one could miss it. Now, because I'm slightly better, now I'm just lame. I'm like a guy that embarrasses himself at karaoke. It's like I've lost that charm of being so bad that it was kind of cool.
Yeah, you're almost good now. It kind of ruins it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember when we were doing this session, I remember I stopped after a few takes and I just looked at him and said, was that actually on a lot of the time? And he looked at me with kind of slight disbelief, like, well, yeah. Not to say it was perfect. Definitely the auto-tune was necessary, but it wasn't getting worked out quite as vigorously and being tasked as much as it usually was, but it still was necessary. Let's make that clear.
You are getting better. Your expression, even though your tone and your pitch was always horrible, your expression was always there, and that we can fix. But you are getting better. I mean, go figure. I don't know. Although, don't get me wrong, there was a fair amount of Belladine going on. So.
Oh yes. Yeah, there was. You still chuckled quite a lot, but it wasn't as consistent. Like sometimes it was like almost impossible to conceive. Like, how did that come out of your mouth? Why did you do that? And now those are just less common, I guess. It's just still bad. I want to make sure everyone knows it's still bad.
Let's let them decide for themselves, shall we?
All right, here is Renaissance Tech Support by the Belle Isle Rats.
Welcome to Florence, the city where I dwell. I live to sculpt and paint, but in the sciences, oh how I excel. In between all my profound ideas, insights and such, I help nobles, serfs and peasants fix their stuff when it's all f***ed up. Artisans and laborers, traders, bankers, thieves, dodge the squeaking, stinking dung carts. They come to me and I allay their gadget grief. I fix their cauldrons and their wagons, oil lamps and looms. They schlep their worn-out grinding stones and their rusted out spittoons. I'll fix your devices, useful things of every sort. So line up and bring your broken things to me here at Renaissance Tech Support.
Hey Leonardo, what did you fix today? Hey Leonardo, what did you make okay?
Johannes' printing press broke down, slowed business to a crawl. The platen broke, the lever snapped and whacked him in the balls.
He used his skills in metallurgy, fixed it so it's nice and sturdy.
And now he and Martin are spreading news to all.
Hey Leonardo, what did you fix today? Hey Leonardo, what did you make okay?
Francesca's water wheel had broken parts and was unsafe. Poor Giuseppe lost his arm and watched it float away.
He used his engineering prowess, fixed it good as new, and now it's
Working as intended, washing all the filth away.
Hey Leonardo, hey Leonardo.
I'll fix your devices, useful things of every sort. So line up and bring your broken crap to me here at Renaissance Tech Support. Michelangelo, they say you are my rival. You give yourself the credit for this cultural revival. Oh, the discipline you lack, painting all day on your back, a ceiling work that's, well, truly quite an eyeful. My dear Michelangelo, you know I am no prude, but I can't help but notice, 'cause you know it's not subdued. Apparently you are compelled, I guess you just can't help yourself, but why must you insist on painting everybody in the nude? Dude. So go ahead and paint your silly, gaudy, naked fluff while I dream up things to change the world and fix normal people stuff. A Vitruvian man, an aerial screw, armored cars and diving suits. Everything that you've heard is true, and you'll remember me. That boot-shaped land that yielded pizza, pasta, cheese, and balls of meat. So gave you me and the Mona Lisa, you'll remember me. My painting of those 13 fellers, parachutes and wind propellers. My colleagues are insanely jealous, 'cause you'll remember me. 'Cause I develop things like Chemistry, geology, geometry, hydrodynamics, civil engineering, physics, optics, cannons, pyrotechnics, parallel perspective drawing, all ideas new, anatomy, astronomy, and plate tectonics too. Cantilevers, cranks and gears, pulleys and hydraulics. Oh, good heavens!
He's a total workaholic.
Well, my birth was illegitimate, but history says that I'm a hit. But I'll still fix your devices, useful things of every sort. So line up and bring your busted crap to me here at Renaissance Tech Support.
Okay, where did this come from?
You know, I've often described it as like having a river of stupidity running 24/7 at just below the level of my conscious mind. Sometimes I just go down there and whatever happens to be down there that day.
This time there was a flash flood.
Yes. No. How it actually started, I mentioned before my wife volunteers me for things. So my daughter she's kind of a theater kid. And they were doing a production last year of Shrek the Musical, and they were asking for parents to help out with the sound. So I went there to help them with the sound. Turns out they don't really need any help with the sound, but I found out that their guitar player had broken his hand. So they did the pit orchestra didn't have the guitar player. So I was like, go tell you play guitar, go volunteer. I'm like, no, go on. All right. So I go up to the guy, hey, I play guitar. I can cover the guitar if you need. I'm thinking, high school production, how hard can it be? The guy goes, oh, great. Here's the book. I start looking at the book. It's like, oh, holy crap, this is complicated. Musical theater is like, you can have a song where you've got 56 bars of 4, then it goes into cut time, and you'll have 3 key changes inside of a minute, and you got 95 bars of rest. Then you got to come in on the third 16th note of it's just like. And I can read music, but I'm not fast at it. So I had to spend many nights shedding that thing. Anyway, so she did Shrek the Musical, and there was a song in there called What's Up, Duloc? And it's basically like they threw in every musical theater cliche into this one song. And I thought, that'd be kind of cool to do. Just make a musical theater type thing and throw in all the cliches like the Rockettes thing at the end and all that. But just, what can I make it about? I know, let's make it about something about the Renaissance era. And then the title that was already been generated kind of just fused together via some sort of mental synchronicity. And then a little later on, I got the idea that it could be Leonardo da Vinci with a repair shop. So that's where the idea came from. And I think I immediately texted Tom about it, and he was like, yeah. And I immediately heard Tom saying, this was going to be a Tom. This is going to be a Tom thing for sure, with all the different sections, and they'll have, And I actually did this, probably the most well-researched rat song in history. I actually did a lot of research on Leonardo da Vinci, made extensive use of ChatGPT, not for anything creative. I'd never have it write the creative stuff for me, but like one thing I had to do was give me a list of technology from the 1500s and what it did, how it broke, and how it was repaired. Another time I would have it give me a timeline, all the cities Leonardo lived in, year to what year, and what he accomplished in those years. And then there's a little bit about, he had sort of this rivalry with Michelangelo. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I found that it was Michelangelo, not Michelangelo, because another thing I did research with, there's this thing called the Italian Renaissance Podcast, which I listen to a lot, and actually still do. It's great to fall asleep to. And he does a whole thing on Michelangelo. That's when I thought it was Michelangelo, not Michelangelo. So
this is America. We say Michelangelo.
That's right. That's right. We do pounds, yards, and gallons, and we say Michelangelo.
Right.
The hell with you. But,
Luke, which one was Michelangelo? Was that the bow staff, or was that the sword?
No, he's the orange one with the nunchucks.
Nunchucks, right? Okay.
He's the one that's like, whoa, cowabunga party, dude.
Okay.
And for the record, go check out epic rap battles of history, they did artists versus turtles. And they had all 4 artists rap a battle against all 4 of the turtles.
I've seen that.
It was
That's
really
good.
great. Yeah.
Wow. But then we did this video, which is posted on your video website, and that one too. I made exclusive use of AI. I signed up for this thing called Google Gemini, and it allowed me to generate 3 videos a day, 3 8-second videos a day. I think I talked about this before. Every day I would have it generate a little piece of the video, like Michelangelo, smoking a cigarette, looking at his at the Sistine Chapel that he's working on. Or Leonardo looking at the Sistine Chapel, hating it and like making himself barf. And the one thing I found that it couldn't do, and I think I did mention this before, is AI can create these amazing videos, but it does not know how to spell. Mm-hmm. Like there's one part of the song where it talks about these my painting of these 13 fellows, referring to the Last Supper, his famous Last Supper painting. Yeah. And the joke was, while he's painting, he's reading this book called Painting Iconic Masterpieces for Dummies. Like that was the joke. But it couldn't spell. I had to regenerate this thing like 8 times because it couldn't spell iconic. It would be Iowanic, or it's like
AI
the
really
most basic thing.
It can't do spelling, and it can't do math, because those are just different processes that it doesn't do. It's just a glorified pattern matching device, so it can't really like do stuff like that.
You'd think that they'd have figured that out, though. You'd think that would be a fairly low-hanging fruit as far as the programming is concerned. And
I wish I saw that the video was there. I would have played it, because otherwise I just had a graphic up. I didn't know there was the video there. I missed it. So sorry about that.
Well, I think it's okay. I posted it before the song actually went live, and apparently I shouldn't have done that. But actually, the link is still. I need to fix the link on it because it's still not right. It still goes to your FuMP homepage instead of going to where the video is supposed to be. But I guess I can fix that in there from the edit mode. But yeah, the video is pretty epic. And we had great fun with that. Tom I went and about a week before he came out here last fall, I ordered a Leonardo da Vinci costume from Amazon with a full-on beard and everything. And I just took a guess at his size, and luckily it fit. In fact, Tom wears it every day, I think, don't you?
Well, not every day.
Well, especially like if you're going on a date or something, like special times, you'll wear your Leonardo costume.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I just linked the video to your song, so it'll show up on your song page now when it comes up.
Okay, cool, great.
Just when you wear the Leonardo costume, be sure to like put fabric softener sheets in the dryer so there is no disastrous cling when it's.
Whoa, that was.
What have I started?
Sir.
That at least deserves an honorable mention, if nothing else. That.
Oh no, that one supersedes mine.
Yeah, it probably does.
Yes. But this has got to be the most niche market we were going after for humor on this one. It was targeted specifically at music historians. Oh, they wouldn't use those kinds of chord changes back then.
Yeah, there's a couple nerdy musical jokes. Like the very ending chord is a flat 9 jazz chord, which you would never have heard in the 60s. They were centuries away from figuring that out yet. So there's some real, and there's a lot of like nerdy sight gags in the video too if you watch it.
Chris probably picked up on the chord. I did not, because rapper.
You'd have no reason to.
Yeah, if I didn't, you'd had to tell me, but one of the images that still cracks me up when I've seen the video is the dartboard in the background that's got a picture of Michelangelo on it. So Leonardo is throwing darts at it.
That's funny.
There's all kinds of sight gags in there, little Easter egg things if you pay attention, which I don't know why anybody would bother, but if you do, they're there. But the other thing about the song was I bought this this software synthesizer that has nothing but old medieval sounds. It was called Era.
Oh, cool! I was going to ask you like if you had any live instruments or if this was all synths, because those are some cool sounding instruments you have going there.
No, it's all virtual. It's all I played nothing live. The only live thing is Tom's vocal. But yeah, it was this thing called Era 2, and even the beginning thing, that the lute. It's just a keyboard, but and it just had like lutes, flutes, this thing called a hurdy-gurdy, all these old medieval sounds, frame drums, and it was the thing that really made it possible. I had other sounds similar, but this thing just had the authenticity going on. So that was really the key to that song, But I've gotten a lot of really good response. I mean, it's a bit on the long side, but
no, I think it works, especially since you do the musical theater thing and it's broken up into different distinct parts, so it never gets repetitive for any length of time. So I think it works.
Right.
Yeah.
That one would give a DJ at a funny music station. Like, remember in the 70s, those rock and roll guys would play a whole album side and they go off and smoke a bowl.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a whole side of the Rats for you here. We'll be back after I go have my...
I need to go to the bathroom, so we're going to listen to this album now.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of that going on during Bohemian Rhapsody. That may have been one of the reasons that was a hit, because that was a good 7 minutes where they could go to hit the bathroom or go smoke a bowl or whatever.
Yep.
But
so was Da Vinci really involved with plate tectonics? That sounds more modern than him.
I can't say I researched every single thing, but when I went into ChatGPT and I asked it for a list of things that he at least conceived of, that was one of the things that was listed.
Wow.
I didn't look carefully into that particular one. They did other things, but
yeah, I was going to look that up, but I never did, because you're right. It wasn't really something that occurred until much more recent, like in the 1900s. We're talking like after mid, but he might have, I'm guessing right now, he might have had the notion of something like that, but as far as it being measured and established, because it was something that didn't get accepted right away, as you can well understand. Someone's saying entire continents are moving along the surface of the globe.
Okay, yeah, so
saying, this is nonsense.
Yeah, plate tectonics, as we understand it now, wasn't established until the 20th century, but he did find evidence of ancient seabeds at the top of mountains and concluded that the Earth was moving things around. So, yeah.
I mean, most of the stuff he did, what was centuries away from being tested. Like, there's pictures of him with a diving bell, like underwater.
Yeah, I know he has a design for a helicopter in one of his books. I mean, it won't fly, but I mean, it's a design.
Right. There's some museum that actually physically built a lot of his things.
Yeah.
If they work or not, but I've seen pictures of them. And I've kind of had a fascination with Da Vinci. My dad is a mechanical engineer. He worked, being in Detroit, you work in the automotive industry. And so there was this one book we had in a bookshelf. It was a big Da Vinci picture book. And I used to take the thing out and just look at it and look at all these drawings and just think, wow, this is really cool. So that was kind of, that. I've always sort of had a thing for Leonardo from a young age from that particular book that my dad had. So, and then there was this, Ken Burns just did a whole documentary on Leonardo da Vinci that came out, either late last year or earlier this year. I haven't got through the whole thing yet, but what I saw was really cool. I thought maybe we'd be cashing in on a Vinci wave, but that didn't really develop. So
we need to bring back the patron system so that we just have rich people pay me to invent things and do funny music, and that would solve all my problems. That's all I needed. One rich guy, give me a little bit of money, I'd be fine. That's all we need.
Well, don't give up on it, man. Keep the dream alive. Somebody may do that. You never know. You gotta manifest it. Is that what they say now?
Dude, I am getting so many ads on Facebook and Instagram for like manifestation of how all the. I'm like, what did I click on to cause this?
I don't know, but that's like the latest thing I hear. I don't remember hearing such things like 2 years ago, but now I'm hearing that you manifest this, you manifest that, and
manifestations everywhere.
A long time ago, I was into this thing called Seth. You ever heard of this character called Seth?
No.
He was a okay. There was a woman named Jane Roberts, and she was a trance medium, and she would trance this personality called Seth. And Seth would have all this amazing wisdom. And there's books. You can buy books. One of them is called The Nature of Personal Reality by Jane Roberts. And she's channeling this Seth character who apparently was dead for many centuries, but he comes through Jane Roberts. I mean,
you know what? I have heard of that. I saw a special on that when I was a kid, I think. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
I mean, I was completely obsessed with it back in the 80s for a while. I was just, completely like, and there's a lot of it that's really is interesting. And that's the whole thing, is that you create your own reality. It's not happening out there. You're creating it, you know? And so I think that's what the manifestation thing is about. Now, I filed that, now that I'm 65 and going through a lot of other stuff, I kind of filed that on the maybe shelf, No way to prove it for sure, but it was interesting anyway.
You can manifest a Medicaid claim now, or Medicare, sorry.
Yeah, and then another thing like that, I drove us. We had an appointment at 9:30 sharp, and I drove us to the wrong office.
Oh,
I drove us to an office 8 miles away. And I'm, shit, man, what are you doing? I'm like, crap. So we started driving back to the other office, and then the guy from the office, the wrong office, calls us back and says, "Oh no, come on back. We'll help you over here." Man, that was some serious manifestation there. So anyway. So,
all right. So I think that covers everything. When your song started playing, I got an alert on Zoom, and I've never seen this before, but it said, "Please confirm you've started talking in a different language," or something to that effect. And I don't know what it wanted me to do, so I just closed the alert without clicking on anything. But I've never seen that before. So I was wondering if you were speaking in tongues in this song or something, but
no. But you know what though? There's the very beginning. It starts with those city sounds of the bells in the background. That was actually created by. There's this AI audio program called Illusion by Waves, and it's like the audio version of typing in video AI. Type in what sound you want, and it makes that sound.
Oh, cool!
Like I typed in, give me this of a Renaissance era city. 15th century with bells and crowd sounds in the background, and it generated them like perfect.
Wow.
And that's what you hear at the top. So nice. I'll tell you, this AI stuff's got some real potential, I'll tell you.
Yep. All right. So do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, our new record, I'd like to plug that. Men of a Different Age. And it's out there now on all the streaming services, our website, belleislerats.com. And we have a bunch of upcoming non-appearances, which we'd like to not promote. So we've got that. And a bunch of non-events that we're not going to be at. So really just listen to the record. That's about it, really.
When did that album come out?
Yes. It's been out. One thing I do want to do, I do have a good idea to actually do some kind of a TikTok promoting not just this, but our entire catalog, which is something I'm going to start working on here because, doggone, man, I'm trying to find a way to get beyond our core audience of 7 fans, and it's kind of tough, but.
So yeah, because I didn't realize that album was out, and I wanted to add it to the comedy music release spreadsheet. So
they came out about a month ago.
Google says August 15th. Does that sound right?
Yep, that sounds exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that. I'll put it there. 8:15. The Belle Isle Rats, Men of a Different Age, and I will fill in the rest later. All right, cool. All right, thank you for joining us. We're going to move on to news and the interview with the COG. Are you guys going to stick around, or are you taking off?
I probably am going to take off here, but we'll watch it later on.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take off.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure as
Absolutely.
always.
Thanks for doing this, man. This is it's awesome. We always never get tired of it.
Yeah, I love your music, and this was peak Rats that you guys submitted here. Love this stuff. All right, thanks, guys. We will catch you later.
Catch you later.
This is the FuMP.
And everything in your body hurts all the time. When everything is going wrong, it's time
to sing along with this stupid song. When you
Come on over, baby, and we'll do it Asgard style. Come on. I'm calling thunder and lightning from the blue. You're a marvel in the sack, and my Avenger will assemble for you.
punching f***ing Nazis, a fist drive to their face, making damn sure that they always know that they're not the master race.
Stick your head in a barrel of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com.
Dr. Demento is retiring, and the FuMP is paying tribute.
Thanks for the music, the memories, dementia, and the
Fruits of the Smogberry Trees, the FuMP's tribute to Dr. Demento, is available now as a 2-CD set or digital download.
Demento, play my song.
Only 19 minutes long.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, trees of smog and
Featuring over 2 hours of music with your favorite FuMP artists paying tribute to Dr. Demento and covering some of his most popular songs.
dead puppies.
Fruits of the Smogberry Trees, the FuMP's tribute to Dr. Demento, is now available in the store at thefump.com. That's THEFUMP.com. Order your copy now. Like, right now!
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
In the news, the FuMP Volume 112 is now shipping. The CDs went out to subscribers yesterday, should be arriving soon in mailboxes, and it should show up in streaming within a week or so. And just as a reminder, albums in the FuMP store that are 2 years old are officially out of print, and we make those available as a free low-quality download, which means the FuMP Volume 100 is now available for free in the store at thefump.com. So the first 100 FuMP compilations are now available as a free low-quality download. The low-quality one is 128-bit MP3 and does not include the bonus video or full insert. So if you want that, you have to purchase the high-quality version. But 100 albums are now available for free. Last weekend was the last of Dr. Demento's retrospective shows. This episode was 2015 through 2025, and I was very happy to see that he played some songs from the tribute album. There are only 3 shows left. We have an all-request show coming up. We have a show of his favorite songs that didn't make the top 40, and then we have the top 40 all-time countdown. The final episode will air on October 11th. And then it's the end of an era.
Yeah, I was very... I mean, it makes me kind of... I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't want to bug him. He's got a lot of stuff going on in his life, but just to see that he played Time to Get Demented by Knuckleheads, Dementia Revolution by me and MC Lars from back in 2007, which had been played on the show a lot before. It had made the Funny 25 a couple of times. Then he played Halls of Dementia by you featuring me, the new ICP parody, and then he ended it with Shaving Cream featuring a whole bunch of us and Benny Belle, which was it's awesome that those were the songs that got picked. But I still can't help but wonder, like, what was his criteria for picking those songs or whatever, And
yeah, I don't know.
Because there's at least one song I can think of that wasn't made by me that I kind of felt should have been played, but we'll see what comes up in the next 3 episodes. Maybe he'll squeeze it in there. Maybe he's saving it, but
maybe, yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, I'm just like, and of course, I've said this before, but I'll say it again a million times. Major shout out to Jeff Morris, who did so much work in helping Dr. D put these retrospectives together, and I'm sure he's still helping, figuring out, tabulating what the potential top 40 of all time is going to be. But Jeff helped write a ton of the copy for these episodes. I helped him with some stuff because, like, this all happened right when my new job started, and I just didn't have the mental... I was too tired and too mentally, like, just drained at the end of each day to, like, put a ton of work into it. But I looked through the songs that were potentially going to get played, and I typed up as much stuff as I could think of that would be interesting for him to mention. So I like, gave Jeff an assist, but Jeff did so much work on these retrospective episodes, so he just deserves a ton of credit. I also noticed in the last week's episode that Chuck got a shout-out in the thanks in the end for assisting as well. So so shout out to Chuck for her pitching in, too. So... But yeah, all of these episodes have been such an amazing journey, and I'm so happy that we have this journey, you know, to listen to, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes at the next 3 episodes. Yeah.
Indeed.
Part of me was thinking of emailing Barry a link to the song Halls of Illusion, just so that he had an idea of what that was a parody of, because it makes me wonder if did he notice that was a parody, or did he just hear that and think like, oh, well, this sounds interesting, and then he did.
Yeah, no idea. I haven't heard from him, so.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, in other news, MC Lars is having an album release show on October 30th at the Chop Shop in Chicago. This is for the release of his upcoming The Edgar Allan Poe LP. Tickets are available at chopshopshy.com. Wow, say that a couple times fast. chopshopshy.com. And the FuMP newsletter for September went out today, featuring stories about the FuMP Volume 112, the MarsCon Guest of Honor announcements, some featured videos, and more. If you're not on our mailing list, you can view it online at tiny.cc/FuMP0925 for September of 2025. tiny.cc/FuMP0925. All right, you got anything before tour dates?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right, tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. The last Sunday of each month on Facebook, Lauren Mayer. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Wednesdays in San Francisco, California, Ben Vicini. On the 28th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 1st in Muncie, Indiana, Mikey Mason. The 3rd and 4th in Newton, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. On the 4th, the weekend of the 4th and 5th in Richfield, Ohio, or the 3rd, 4th. It's actually, I think, the 1st through the 6th. Con on the Cob with Devo Spice, Soggy Potato Chips, Pastor Haster, Toby Danger, and more. And on the 5th in Baltimore, Maryland, Bussy. All right. Second song of the week. It's the latest, another one from the Dr. Demento tribute album. Here is the Consortium of Genius with Dead Puppies.
Dead puppies, dead puppies, dead puppies aren't much fun. They never come when you call. They don't chase squirrels at all. Dead puppies aren't much fun. My puppy died late last fall. He's still rotting in the hall. Dead puppies aren't much fun.
Pinkerton III have proven that the canine in question is no fun in this condition.
In other words, your dog is dead.
Obviously. Therefore, we must operate immediately. Dr. Glitch, prep the operating room.
Operating room prep.
All right then. Scalpel.
Scalpel.
Forceps.
Forceps.
Reanimation fluid.
There's only enough reanimation fluid for one dog, so don't screw it up as usual, Milo.
Silence! Paddles.
Paddle.
Charge defibrillator to 10,000 volts. And clear! Could it be?
Your dog is alive.
Yes, that was the point, Dr. C.
Yes.
All right. Nice puppy. Cute little pooch. Maybe I've got a milk bone here.
Oh, you're right, Milo. This is much more fun.
I am here with the COG, or at least several members of the COG, not all of them, but several of them. Hi, guys.
We are the roadies of COG, otherwise known as The Rock.
The Rock, of course, yes.
Rock.
The Rock. So tell us about this song you posted, Dead Puppies.
Okay, well, we have you to thank, Tom, because approximately 2 weeks before the release, or rather before the deadline, you messaged me saying, wouldn't it be great if the COG did Dead Puppies by Ogden Edsel? And at that point, I'd already started working with Beth on her song, which was an original, and I had no inkling of being able to come up with a new original song in time, and I had no idea what we would do. So you saved us. And so, yeah, we immediately started recording Dead Puppies.
I'm happy to help because
we had to convince Chris.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't want to do Dead Puppies. He wanted to do something else.
I'd actually never heard the song before, and I heard it, and I was like, "Oh no, no."
Yeah.
We both thought that it just wasn't progressive enough.
Let's do this legendary Stardust Cowboy song. They said, "No, we're going to do Dead Puppies."
Yeah, he had something of equally bad taste, but it probably hadn't been played as many times on Dr. Demento as Dead Puppies. So we went ahead and went for it, and we just kept adding more and more people to the recording.
Yeah,
like anybody that came through the studio was added to the recording.
I even got 2 of my 3 kids on the recording.
Yeah, their first credits.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know
his
what
daughter was ripping it up on that viola.
Cello. And then my son played the trumpet.
Yeah, and he played the hell out of the flute, aside from the guitar work.
Nice.
And then Yngwie Flatstein made an appearance, the first appearance in a while. And we used the worst take.
So in all honesty, and this isn't the first time it's happened, I played a fantastic solo that I was so proud of, which Lewis immediately erased and made me feel bad about. And then I played another one as a joke that was really horrible, and there you go. It's my life.
Yeah, it's all about making Lewis laugh with the guitar. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't know what made me think of it. I just remember I was at McDonald's one day having lunch, and I was like, I was going through the song list and everything, and I'm like, oh, somebody's got to do Dead Puppies. And I was like, who could do Dead Puppies? And I was like, oh, the COG. Hey, Jim.
Sorry, we're trained.
We're the roadies of COG.
Well, I would like to know, did anybody, like, I saw, what was it, Deadhead Puppies or something like that?
Grateful Dead Puppies.
Go for a proper cover? Like before us?
No, that it was nobody else had laid claim to that song. The Robert London Spaff song is just it's just an original tribute with it's a Grateful Dead parody, but it's a list of popular songs from the Dr. Demento show.
Yeah. And I liked it, but yeah, I couldn't write anything that quick. And so it was like a total godsend for you to assign the song to us because after that, it was just a matter of like ripping the song out as fast as we could.
So
and
you
then putting the coda on it.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that you guys have this spoken bit at the end of the song, which I did not include on the tribute album because I thought that the spoken bit kind of like interrupted the flow of the music a little too much with all the other
No, that
songs.
was even. I thought that was perfect because like it made the FuMP release of it its own special like edition. And so when people were reacting to that in the comments on the song's release on the FuMP, I was really happy to see that. It gave them something, extra that they hadn't gotten on the album.
So we actually have a comment that is a question to you that I was going to ask anyway, but I'm going to give him credit. Let me just pull up the script. Is Alvarant says, can you ask Pinkerton if the lines about going for a walk are his original creation or part of an extended version of the song I've never heard?
Okay, so I was looking around for other people's versions of the song, and I never really got to hear any, but I saw a comment in the official release by Ogden Edsel where somebody was talking about a version. Hey, can you turn that off? Somebody was talking about a version of it that came out a few years ago that had all kinds of extra verses. And he mentioned going for walks as a drag. And I thought that was really funny. And so I wrote a line for that. And then I wrote the last line about, what was it about?
Oh,
I don't even remember.
Give me a sec. I'll pull it up.
Oh yeah. Right. So, so we got a little bit of extra.
They don't cry, they don't beg, they don't try to hump your leg.
They don't try to hump your leg, right? Yeah, so we got a little bit of our extra cog seasoning in there, but aside from the overwrought production, I had to live up to the original somehow.
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's honestly one of my favorite tracks from the album. I love what you guys did with it.
Thanks. Yeah, we wouldn't have done it without you, and I can't believe we pulled it off. So,
oh, I can. I saw you perform at FuMPFest. I was like, these guys could do it. Yeah.
Pity we didn't have it ready for that. Oh well.
Yeah, well,
maybe
we
next time.
Hadn't even considered doing that at that time. So,
I don't think many have.
No. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Okay, well, what we've got coming up is as usual a busy fall to make up for a real lack of action earlier in the year. We've got Morgus Madness, which is a yearly party now, celebrating our local mad scientist Morgus, whose shirt I'm wearing. And that's on October 17th. And then we've got, I guess the next thing after that would be what is it called again? Rock Art Circus. Rock Art Circus, November 4th. And then the following weekend, November, I want to say 12th, we are playing at Houston Arcade Expo, which we play every year. And that's a great party. So if you're in Texas, you really owe it to yourself to come to the Houston Arcade Expo and play a lot of pinball and watch a lot of great bands.
Someday I'm going to make it down to that. It really looks like a fun event.
That's a really fun weekend.
I mean, this pinball machine, it's like a giant Marriott ballroom full of pinball machines on free play. And I mean, you can stay in there until 4 a.m.
Yeah, you just pay one price to get in, and then it's all free. It's the biggest arcade you've ever been in. And I can add too that a shout out, Chris Mezzalesta was living in Houston around that time, and like 4 or 5 years ago, and he came out and helped us out and mixed us while we were on stage. And
I think we need to play a gig at his house because he can cook his ass.
Yeah, that guy rules. So we need to get up north more often. But when he was living down south, we were able to at least hang out with him just that one weekend.
He lives about 10 or 15 minutes from where they hold Con on the Cob. So if you guys want to come back to Con on the Cob, you can go play at Chris's house. So
one day we must. We had a great time.
Show up really hungry.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
You got it. Oh, and I guess if I had any other request, it would be to get more comedy bands on Escape from the Secret Lab, which we are doing all the way through the end of the year. And, we've had every genre in the book this year except comedy. So please, somebody help us. There's not enough comedy bands down here.
So you have to do it like in person, right? You can't do it over Zoom or something?
Correct.
It's a live show. Yeah.
Music
Yeah, it really is.
Very serious.
Yeah, it's a real live show, in a room.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I remember the
real
setup.
time,
It was something to watch. That was something to behold.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah, in fact, okay, yeah, that's right. We're doing it again at Deep South Con, aka Contra Flow. The weekend, let's see, what is it, October 3rd, I think. So that's coming up. So yeah, we're gonna do a live edition of it. Is that October 3rd or October 10th? I can't keep anything straight anymore. But yeah, our next I think it's October 10th. Yeah, so our following this Sunday's Escape from the Lab, the next one will be a live one in front of a con audience, and that's going to be an electronic band called Non-Lethal Weapon, I think, and broadcasting out of Deep South Con.
Excellent. Well, good luck with that. It was always fun. Good luck with the setup. That I remember the setup. That was
Yeah, it's hell.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
I was going to say, outside of this room, we're very dependent on like hotels, Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Doing Escape Live is murderous. So very, very infrequent.
Yeah,
that
I can imagine. Well, if I ever make it down to New Orleans again, I will offer myself to Dr. Pinkerton for sacrifice and
please
see what
do.
happens.
Please come back down. It's been what, 15 years?
Something like that, yeah.
In fact, what wasn't it Contraflow that you were at?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is their last go round. I think they're kind of like coming back from the dead for Deep South Con because they won the bid. And so they've been down for 2 years and they're just reactivating just for this one con.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway. Hey, Luke.
Luke's key.
All right, thanks,
y'all,
guys.
have fun. Enjoy.
Take care.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback. Baramon says, like, subscribe, and use your free Amazon Twitch Prime subscription. Support your local comedy musicians. They are doing God's work. Amen. Baramon sent me an email and asked, for some people, it's weird hearing your own voice recorded. It doesn't sound the same. Did you folks ever get used to that, or does it still sound weird? You get used to it fairly quickly when you start doing a lot of recording. I got used to my voice like while I was in high school or maybe early college at the latest. And I started to learn how to adjust the tone of my voice to match the song and get the best sound out of my voice. It took a long time to kind of master that, but I learned how to do it, because there's different tones depending on whether it's a mellow song or an upbeat song or a party song or whatever. So there's lots of different ways to do it, but like now I'm very used to my voice because I do recording all kinds of, all over the place. And I kind of know like what EQ to use to get the best sound out of it and everything. Luke, you still sound weird to yourself, or are you used to it?
I'm fairly well used to it at this point.
Yeah. All right, and Alvarant asked the question for Dr. Pinkerton, which he answered, and then...
A-Log! Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, Oh, I forgot. The official website does have those dates. I'm going to double check and see if I can plan some time off from work by then. And in the terms of Steve Goody's recent parodies, which is more messed up, My Wife's in a Five-Way or Glory Hole? Probably Glory Hole, but honestly, I think Steve's most messed up song is the one about putting a hamster in your butt. What the hell was that one called?
I don't remember.
It was hamster.
I know that it existed, but
It was hamster something, I think, wasn't it? Let me just Google hamster and see what... No, it wasn't. Whoa, gerbil. Little gerbil. That's what it's called. Little gerbil. All right. That's all the feedback we got. Let's do some teasing.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. And I have a joke.
Yeah. Tomorrow's song is by Sulu. And Tuesday's song is by Burbles Belly. And for the Spotify playlist topic, I have a suggestion from Meow Meme. Last week, I wanted to get the suggestion from Meow Meme while she was on, and I told Carrie about this idea, and I was like, don't let me let you go without getting a topic, and we both just completely spaced. So we forgot. So Meow Meme's suggestion is poo-poo and pee-pee. So I will...
Because of course it is.
Yeah, we have plenty of those songs on the FuMP, and I know of a few others, so I will come up with a playlist. That's easy enough. All right, the Belle Isle Rats are at belleislerats.com, and the Consortium of Genius are at consortiumofgenius.com. You got anything else, Luke?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski.
And the Cog was here, and so were the rats.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say...
Phone!